Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for Wednesday, August the 12th. And we had a pretty big day in the S&P today. The ES. This is let me pull our ticks over here. The ES was up about almost 50 points today. Um, Pretty big move for the ES on a daily basis. The SPX ended up being up 46 points, I believe. And what happened is that yesterday we had this sell-off. This is Tuesday, and this is Wednesday. So we had a pretty big sell-off here into the close yesterday, all the way down to 33.26. Big gap up overnight, and we just kind of went higher most of the day. What's interesting about this is SPX. You guys know I like to focus there, but what's interesting is there's 3,400 on the SPX. So this is the all-time high, and we got to 33.87 today. So we're just about 10 points shy of the all-time high in the SPX, and we can just reach up there and touch that easily. But then we did give a little bit back here into the close. But again, the reason that this is important, let me go out on a larger time frame here and show you. There's our all-time high, 33.93. SPX 3393. We got to 3387 today. So for all purposes, we're basically there, right? We just reach up and touch that. And what has been driving this is in large part, is the anticipated financial stimulus, or the stimulus package, the gain from the financial stimulus package, which will be, they're going back and forth, but $2-3 trillion that can be absorbed into the economy and give us a shot in the arm and all that kind of stuff. But now we're in limbo, waiting on the decision between Democrats and Republicans as far as how this is going to go, the specifics of the deal. So my thought, and you guys know I've been long this thing all the way up, with looking over my shoulder the whole time going, man, we can have a downdraft here, just like we did here, at any time, just like we did here. Retrace, and that's kind of the way it's been, stair-stepping up with some pretty erratic moves down. Lately, we have done nothing but go up. So what I'm wondering is that, we hit this and fail to some level, and then maybe come back up, or does this turn into something bigger? And I don't think it turns into anything bigger because the election's coming up and all that kind of stuff, right? But in the short term, it would make sense that we do a little pullback here after the announcement of whatever the stimulus package is going to be, and perhaps let me go here I'll show you what I mean on we'll go to a 20-day chart. So check this out. For basically 20 days in a row is 3,200, 3,300, 3,400, essentially. In 20 days, just up. All this, I think, is an anticipation of this stimulus part 2 being passed, and there is some coronavirus relief news, new vaccines and things like that. Hope, a lot of hopium in this market. Hope that this is going to work or that's going to work is sprinkled in there with it, to give us kind of this continued boost to the upside. But we know the underlying problems are still there and all that stuff. So again, I think we will see more of this kind of stuff, and this kind of stuff in the future. Go higher, downdraft. Higher, downdraft. And perhaps we keep working our way up, or again, this downdraft turns into something a little bit larger. But the first key area, we're right there, 3,400, to see if we get through that all-time high, and then we may just keep going. My gut feel is that we don't. So my gut feel doesn't really make a difference as far as our trading goes, but how are we going to trade this? And when I look at this, matter of fact, let me put our grab candles up here. we're moving so far away. This is a 34 EMA. You can put a 20 up there, and it's even more. The pull away from the averages is even more dramatic. But I would expect to pull back into this area kind of at any time. If we didn't have stimulus stuff just pending any day now, I would be very hedged on the downside. As it is, we could get another, this, if the stimulus package is big, and that could even set us up for maybe even another run higher. So be very careful about that. I've only got two, three, maybe four trades on something like that. We did get long Moderna, mRNA, a couple days ago, and I've been long S&P. I do have a 3400 butterfly up here for Friday that's working extremely well. But again, my next move is going to be to start trying to fade this perhaps on the downside within the next couple of weeks. And what we need to watch for is how we go into really critical tomorrow, Friday, to see what happens with the deal. Are they going to say, Trump and Pelosi are going to, fight it out and say, we just can't come to an agreement. We'll get back to it next week. And I'm talking about tomorrow or Friday. That means we probably take a little breather and pull back a little bit, or, as long as they kick the can down the road and don't have a deal done, or we get a deal done, maybe we gap up, and maybe that's kind of all she wrote for the short term. But either way, anticipate these things, watch the news. Of course, we'll see it immediately in the market whenever a deal is done, but watch for the anticipation of the deal or the timeline on when it might be done as far as clues go. And we could go back and look at, Tesla. Of course, they announced a 5-for-1 split today. Was it 4-for-1 or 5-for-1? I can't remember. Big gap up there, big move in Amazon, etc. Maybe these names keep working. They had a pretty decent sell-off this week, but they came back to life today. Maybe they just keep working. But the higher we go, it's we're climbing Mount Everest, and what happens at the top of Mount Everest? You can't breathe, right? And so we're getting into more and more treacherous water, or mountains, I guess, is the higher we go. So be careful, keep some cash on hand, anticipate big moves in either direction. And until we get a signal, like a sell signal, or until the deal is done and we get a continue move higher, I just playing it day by day, and keeping a lot of cash and just being very, very careful. So that's what I got for us. Watch what happens the next couple of days. It'll be important, and it might set the course for next week as well. So with that, let me wind it up. Thanks for the time, and you guys take care.